most memorable experiences in China, I think, has to be when I was invited to 2 Chinese weddings. The first wedding was a co-worker of ours from Canada, and he was marrying a Chinese woman. And we were really, really privileged to have experienced like the whole entire day. So it started at 8 o'clock in the morning when we went with him to go and get the cars decorated with flowers. And part of the traditional Chinese wedding ceremony is that the groom has to persuade the wife to marry him before the ceremony. So we had to go with him to try and knock down the apartment door, and he had to persuade her to accept his hand in marriage, which was really, really funny. He had to sing to her, and he also had to post lots of money under the door to try and like coax her to come out. And once she actually let him in, all of her parents were all sat in there, and he had to like do a massive speech promising to always look after her, and it was really nice. And then he had to do like a traditional Chinese tea ceremony with them before they could go to the hotel, which is where they were having the ceremony. So that was a really great experience. The other wedding I went to was a little bit more crazy. It was one of our co-teachers at work. He was Chinese, marrying his Chinese wife, and it was absolutely crazy. Instead of having a traditional like church wedding or vicar like they do in the UK, the Chinese always tend to have their weddings in a restaurant or in a hotel. And they had someone that they call an MC doing the wedding ceremony, and he basically came on the stage before the bride and groom walked down the aisle and started doing break dancing and magic tricks and started singing a song. Then there was smoke machines blowing smoke and bubbles everywhere. It was so great. It was like a circus. And then the bride and groom walked down the aisle to, I think it was like a Rocky theme tune or something. And then the vicar, well, the MC rather, started doing this magic trick and produced the ring out of like a magic flower. So that was a really, really interesting experience. And Chinese weddings are also really great for trying out loads of different Chinese food. I think at this particular wedding we had turtle, what else did we have? Lots of really, really bizarre things that you would never really get to eat in normal sort of Chinese day-to-day life at a restaurant. So yeah, Chinese weddings is definitely one of my most memorable experiences.
Okay, so another thing I still find surreal about China is even though I've been here almost 8 months, people still ask for photographs as if you're some kind of celebrity. I've had people ask if my hair is real. I've had people throw their kids, like literally throw their kids at me to have photos with their children, and I still find it super strange. We went on a cruise down the Yangtze River over Christmas, and there were a group of guys like all in their 40s and 50s, so you think they'd be a bit more, you know, reserved, but they wanted to dance with us, they wanted to sing karaoke with us. Every 2 minutes they wanted a picture with us. We were honestly treated like we were. Okay, one of my most memorable experiences in China was going around a student's house. From the outside it just looked like a normal apartment. I was expecting a few bedrooms, bathroom, living room, kitchen. Got there and it was massive. They even had a cook. The dad was ill, so he couldn't take us out, so the dad hired a driver to drive us around in his Mercedes. It was absolutely amazing. We went to a hot pot restaurant, it was all paid for. They gave me some fancy imported Belgian chocolates, which over here are much more expensive than if you bought them in Europe, so they were like £20 or something for, you know, just an average size box. Then we went for a walk around the park, we went to the zoo. It was all paid for, and then finally I got dropped back off, and it was one of the most surreal things. Normally I travel by 20p bus in Wuhan, and it was just an amazing experience to get driven around in a Mercedes by a driver.